What? Damn, man.
Put your 3D glasses away.
Hey guys, I'm Chad and this is Don.
Don. And today we are going to review Mad Max, or Angry Max.
Fury Road?
Fury Road, Roads of Fury,
Yeah.
Fury Roads, Roads that are mad. Anyway, Mad Max Fury Road. The next big action flick of the summer, Mad Max, stars Tom Hardy and Charlize Theron. Wow. Chad, this movie.
Sexy Charlize Theron. That's what I like to say.
Basically, this movie is awesome. It's amazing, right?
She's even hot with one arm.
Okay, he's still talking about Charlize. Yeah.
Are we talking about the movie? Okay.
No. It's
So
just,
I thought we was going to do it in 3D because I watched it in 3D. Even
Yeah.
though you're completely against 3D.
yeah, I saw it in 2D, so I thought it was still cool like that. So Mad Max is pretty much based in a post-apocalyptic world, wasteland scenario. Tom Hardy, Mad Max, is essentially leading the biggest car chase in cinema. He is trying to pretty much save Charlize Theron's character Furiosa and these wives of Immortan Joe. Immortan Joe, thank you very much. From this civilization that he's made for himself as war boys, and they're all deprived of water. Slaves, yeah. So Charlize Theron's Furiosa's character is pretty much trying to save all the wives, and because they're all preggers, and they don't want their children to be raised up in that type of environment.
The reason why she was running away was not only was she trying to take away the Morton Joe's wives or his partner, she was trying to find this area where they could go and they could live. But lo and behold, that apparently that land dried up a long time ago and they passed it up. When they did finally get to a spot, they actually found previous women that lived in that area. And they actually resided in a new area.
But it wasn't anything like they expected.
Oh
at
no,
all.
it was just straight desert. So
They went pretty much from wasteland to wasteland. Yeah. Mad Max came up with the idea, like, you know what? We're gonna go stick it up in Morton Joe's, and then we're just gonna go to his place, and we're gonna take it back.
We're gonna go back.
Anyway, so Chad, how would you like to start off? What would you say about this movie?
Well, this movie is non-stop action from the absolute first minute to the last minute. It's driving, action, cars flipping, deaths, blood, guns, everything, explosions.
Take one of the best action chase sequences in a movie. Just think that it just ran for like 90 minutes.
It's a straight dudes movie, 110%. I think even a female would walk out with an erection.
We'll go with that. Once you get going, the very start of the scene, the movie starts off like introduced to Mad Max and how he's being hunted. We don't know who they are, but they essentially are the war boys of this civilization that he gets captured at. And then once we get going, once they introduce Charlize Theron's character, we're on for the ride. It goes on straight from there.
A straight chase.
Straight chase.
The whole time.
Yeah, this movie, and the bad guy, and Morton Joe, you never see his face, but you really don't need to. He's
crazy looking.
You can just tell he's the bad guy. He's totally the bad guy. But I can't tell you how much fun this movie was.
Actually, he kind of looks like that with the hair and the mouth. He just needs some like hoses coming out of the side. And that's Morton Joe.
So I have a confession to make. I've never seen any Mad Max movies before this.
Me and Marvel movies.
Yeah.
You and Mad Max.
There you go, yeah, let's go with that. The great thing about that is, not knowing anything about this Mad Max movie, I still went in, I still had a terrific time, and I still hear that this movie isn't actually a reboot. George Miller actually credited this movie as a sequel. Yeah. It is a sequel, it's just we don't have Mel Gibson.
It'd been nice for him to make a
cameo somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere, so that there's a little appearance. Just say, hey, I'm here. You know?
I'm here, and this used to be my franchise, but I passed it along to Tom Hardy. Another thing about this movie, there was like pretty much hardly any dialogue to it, really. There was like little to no dialogue. Like, I'd say if you got a copy of the script, it would probably been that thin, because they probably had like a whole storyboard of like, okay, we're gonna have a big car chase going this place, and this place. We'll have Mad Max say a line here, and Furiosa can say something awesome here, and then we'll go from there, you know?
Yeah, there wasn't really much talk. So let's get to the good stuff.
Let's get to the good stuff.
So let's pass that, because there isn't really much else to say about the non-spoilers. I mean, everything else we're going to talk about, it's going to be like about the main story. It's going to be about what happens from the start of the chase till the end of the chase.
So basically, once we establish what Charlize Theron's character is doing, we get a sense of, what's going on with the wives and everything. They're pregnant, and
well, I know one is pregnant. Well, no.
I thought that they were all pregnant, weren't they?
I think two was actually pregnant. Now that I think about it. So I know one, the main girl that was showing pregnant. Yeah. She actually died. And so that's what even made it more mad.
I want to say one of the coolest scenes in that movie is when they go into the sandstorm. That was friggin' amazing, right? Once they're in the, during the big chase, you're just thinking, holy crap. It didn't use a lot of CGI, which I like that, and I respect that because it was mostly all practical effects, and that even made it more cooler, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, you had a barren wasteland, and you just didn't really need much of it.
And granted, the main vehicle, a semi-truck, hauling water and fuel. And so you got these cars that's chasing after you. And when they go through these sandstorms, I mean, these cars are just getting tossed around like nothing. And just, you see bodies flying and things blowing up. And
a character on Immortal Joe's team, like chasing Mad Max and Furiosa, that's playing a freaking guitar on a vehicle. I think that's like souped up with amps and bass and everything. And I like to mention the guitar like it was a flamethrower as well.
Oh yeah. At the tip of it, gushing out of it.
So yeah, that's how over the top this movie is. That's what you're in. But again, it's just so much fun because you just don't care, because everything in this movie is just like eye candy to me. It really is. I also want to make a point out, even though the movie is titled Mad Max, I would have to say, like, the really other big star of this is definitely Charlize Theron's character. Like, I really felt like she wasn't like a side character at all. She was actually like
there was two,
a main,
I guess, co-main.
Yeah, Charlize Theron was like, wow. Like, she kicked a lot of ass there. She definitely did. There was a deal that was set up where she's supposed to pass the gasoline. There was supposed to be, like, probably other...
And anyways, she had a deal where she was going to pull up and she was going to give them the gas and they were going to blow up the entrance to their passageway. And yet, something messed up, and anyways, it didn't happen, so that's why the chase kept going.
Didn't Morton Joe have like multiple, like, I guess out of nowhere, that's another thing, they had like other factions come in to help him find his wife.
Yeah, different locations.
Yeah, so obviously this guy, Morton Joe, was definitely a big character and an important figure, I guess, in this world.
Right, he was kind of like a futuristic pharaoh.
Just going into the movie, like how it sets it up, like you don't really need a whole lot explained to you, because I mean, once you just go into it, you just see like barren wasteland, people, savages hunting each other, and once you get to the Morton Joe's like his own little utopia, I mean, you get a good idea of what's going on. You don't need to be spoon-fed a whole lot like about this world, and like I said, that was just really well done, how they did the pacing and how they established all that really well. I think George Miller just hit it out of the park on this movie. Again, I mean, I'm actually going to go back and have a Mad Max marathon at one point. I will watch the original trilogy, and maybe one time we'll review that too, like, you know, refresh it at some point.
Yeah, I've had multiple people say they actually went and saw this movie in theater, 2, 3, 4, even 4 times, which is unbelievable.
And good news, I think I've already heard that they've already greenlit another sequel, which I'm definitely looking forward to seeing for sure.
I'm definitely looking forward to seeing the sequel if there is.
So basically, this movie, okay, yeah, it's fun.
Now, some of the special effects they had, I was actually kind of, it was very unique. Like some of the vehicles, so they had these guys on sticks that would swing back and forth, and when they'd swing down on the vehicle, they would actually pick, like...
the war boys on the poles, oh my gosh.
They would pick people up, or they would come down and they would land on the car, and it was just insane.
Kudos to that, because I think too much CGI is...
You get Transformers.
Yeah, you get Transformers, and I'm also talking to you, George Lucas. Just back off the CGI. There's only so much CGI you can use, you know? Practical effects make the movie and makes it more, I can't say believable, because, I mean, we're talking about a movie that's like all about exploding cars, and you got a person named Furiosa. So,
I mean, they're in an apocalyptic setting.
Yeah.
With unlimited bullets, unlimited fuel, and cars that break down every 5 minutes, and yet they magically get them fixed.
People that actually spit gas into the engines to make it go faster.
Right.
So yeah, it's definitely over the top, but it's a fun ride, and
But the originals were kind of over the top, and they were just crazy. Thunderdome was my favorite.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and rate this movie, Chad. I will give Mad Max Fury Road a solid 9. The Don's official rating 9 out of 10. It's probably one of the best action flicks I've seen in quite a while, actually. What about you, Chad?
I would definitely have to give it a 9 also. It was a great movie. It was a lot of action. It's definitely, like I said, a dude's movie. And I would go watch it again in theaters. I'm so happy I watched it in 3D.
So there you go. That's our official review. So we both give it a 9. Both solid 9s out of 10. Yep. So I think you should definitely go see it. So go check that movie out so we can get
And you guys let us know what you think down below in the comment box. Go on there, comment, tell us what you think, and let us know what movie we should go watch next and review. Okay, guys?
Yeah, promise we'll go. You know, we'll try to watch it. You know,
we will watch it.
All
right, guys. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and again, like I said, share and comment below.
Fix it in post. Oh my god.
That
Outtake!
Lovely.
That was.
We ready?
Yeah. Da, 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 something. I just got done with film. No one's ever gonna see that.
That's cute.
Outtakes. Number 1.
No one's ever gonna see that. It's alright, no one's gonna see that.
Eventually, maybe at a party.
Shh. Looks good.